And welcome to the Lady Charmaine live show. And I'm your host, Lady Charmaine. And thank you all for joining me tonight. We have another good show tonight. So what I want you to do is be sure to go ahead and share this broadcast right now, because I'm sure you're going to want to call in. And I want you guys to give us a call at 916-2269-226 to join in on the conversation tonight. And it's going to be really good because here are some of the topics we're going to be talking about tonight. And here's a question I have for you. Now, we're going to be talking about exposing the hypocrisy in Hollywood, and we're also going to be talking about unnecessary baby mama drama. And as a nation of people, have we become desensitized to death? We're going to be talking about all that coming up on the Lady Charmaine live show. Here's Hot Topics right now. And we're back live with Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine, and I got some great guests in the studio. But first, I want to make sure that everybody likes and subscribe to the Lady Charmaine page, so you guys can always make sure you get the notifications from when we are live in the studio. You can watch us live and also interact with us as well. And I got to introduce to y'all some of my friends, my homies, and some of my partners right here in this here studio, as I call it. In the studio with me tonight, I got my girl, Miss Marie Hutchison. Say what's up, Marie.
I'm in here with y'all. Come on, let's do this.
She said, I'm in this, and then we got none other than the hair hustler. He goes by the name of Mr. Derek Dennis. And now I got my girl, my God baby, one of my original Lady Charmaine and girlfriends.
Yes.
She goes by the name of Station Mob.
Hello.
Mrs. Miles. What's up?
In the house.
Peace up, A-Town down.
See, y'all don't know about that, but y'all know
She
about
is visiting us all the way from the Atlanta, Georgia, from the ATL. So I'm just so glad that she's joining us on the show today. And again, give us a call. Write this number down, 916-226-9226, because we're about to get into the business.
Oh, man.
Oh, have y'all been paying attention to the tabloids, the headlines,
Woo,
have we?
the Hollywood scandals? We're going to talk about the hypocrisy that's going on right now in Hollywood. Well, it's been going on, so it ain't nothing new.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You got the Harvey Weinsteins and everything else, but in this here black community, there's a few things that's going on. We're going to be talking about the Dame Dash, who blasts Lee Daniels. Okay, now this trip, Monique secretly released some tapes of Tyler Perry.
Oh, boy.
And then we're going to talk about Columbus Short and the Manny Haley for a non-repayment for a movie. And then also, this is one I read, who has to pay? I'm going to be playing a video later on. I'm not sure if you guys got a chance to watch it, but it was quite interesting. But then we're also going to talk about, as a nation, have we become desensitized to death? There's so much that's going on. Have we become desensitized? Now, we all know that Monique had been in the news. She has a lot to say about what was going on with Precious, her non-payment, about how she would not go and promote the movie for Oscar season, and she spoke very vocally about it because she was only paid $50,000. She wasn't paid anything on the back end, and then they wanted her to go around and travel the world, and she was like, "Look, y'all ain't giving me no coins for this. I'm gonna stay home with David and Jonathan, and we gonna watch some movies and stuff. That's what we about to do." So of course, no one from Lionsgate, Tyler Perry, or Oprah, or Lee Daniels was happy with her for her non-promotion of the film because she was not paid. Then Netflix situation happened. Netflix offered her a certain amount of money. She felt that she was owed more money than that because if they considered her a legend. A lot of people had a lot to say about Monique. They was like, well, you ain't did nothing in a while, Monique. So why you feel you deserve that, Monique?
part.
Have you been in the #1 movie, Monique? Why should they pay you all that, Monique?
Monique.
Right.
Right.
So, you know that's what a lot of people were saying.
Right.
Then she was still going in on Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and she also included them in one of her comedy skits, which a lot of people weren't too happy about.
And Oprah, remember, that's why I stopped liking her. You don't do that to Lady O.
No, okay, and Lady O.
Lady O.
So she, so basically she said she was blackballed in Hollywood. She felt that Lee Daniels had blackballed her in Hollywood. So now here we are right now.
Okay.
Dame Dash, my boy Dame Dash. Last Friday.
He wasn't having it.
Brother from the hood.
He wasn't having it.
Owed some coins since 2006. Puts Lee Daniels on blast. So here's the scoop if you have not seen it, because I'm going to play the video for you. Dame Dash released a video of him confronting Lee Daniels at a Diana Ross concert. You hear her all in the background, doing her little concert. Okay. And because Lee Daniels allegedly owes Dame Dash $2 million of working capital. He gave him the money back in 2006, because I saw Dame Dash in another video yesterday when the gentleman asked Dame Dash, well, how long had it been? And he said he gave him the money 3 years before Precious. Now, Precious came out in 2009, so I just did the math. So he must have gave him the money back in 2006. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the video and what happened, here is a short clip.
But here's what. I broke my ankle. That's why I couldn't move around, guys. Could you see I couldn't move? I was doing lots of hand movement. I did it again. I was playing with my grandkids and I broke my ankle. Okay. All right, so I want to move the energy in the room right now. I want everybody hands in the air. We're going to do reach out and touch with this beautiful, incredible orchestra, okay? Reach out and touch, hands in the air, everybody. Move the energy. Move it around. Hey. And sing with me if you know the words. Come on. Reach out and touch.
Now, Dame Dash appears to have made good. As you see the picture up here, obviously he had made some threats. He said he's going to issue another lawsuit, and he said he was going to go public with this thing. And Dame Dash kept that, because on yesterday, Dame Dash actually filed a $5 million lawsuit against Lee Daniels. He said, not only am I going to get my $2 million, but I'm going to get $3 million just for, for the pain and suffering and the emotional abuse I felt you gave to me, my dear black brother.
That's right.
And so he is going after all of his coins. Okay, because Dame Dash felt that he was wrong. But here is my question. What do y'all think about this entire situation dealing with Dame Dash and being owed money? Did he go about it the right way to take this online in the court of public opinion?
I don't think so. I mean, first of all, we don't know what has gone on behind the scenes. We don't know if his people have tried to contact Lee Daniels' people, et cetera, et cetera. And sometimes you have to make an example out of people, and that if that means going on a public forum or confronting people in public, even though it's not necessarily the best way as far as what it would be considered politically correct. Sometimes you got to do that. Like, sometimes you got to get all the way hyphy with people for them to know that you mean business. And Dame Dash, is one thing that I do know about Dame Dash, just watching interviews, especially the one that he had on the Breakfast Club a few years ago, is that he's all about his business, his money, his coins. I will say Lee Daniels did a great job at keeping his composure, though. He really did.
He did.
He looked so dainty.
Because there was a camera.
There was a blanket.
That blanket on, yeah.
But he had to, though. There was a camera right there in his face. You seen him looking at it.
Yeah.
So he had to.
Definitely.
I would too.
Right. It's like for people to have, I feel like, in my opinion, for people to have to go to those measures mean that I'm frustrated because I've been trying to get in contact with you. So now I got to do this.
Yeah.
This is where I got to go now. I ain't trying to pull you out here. And then he should have probably, I don't know. We can all say what he should have done, but he should have gave that man his money, man. I don't think he's wrong for confronting him like that.
Okay.
Because it looks like he been running from him, and he caught him.
Definitely.
Right.
And he was like, we doing this right now because I know after tonight I'm not going to hear from you. You're going to block me out. You're going to put people in the way of me getting in touch with you. So I'm going to confront you right now. I ain't mad at $2 million to get you started.
Come on.
I helped you get started. We had a good conversation. We had drinks. We was chilling. I'm Damon Dash.
But as you see, he did admit that he was wrong.
He did.
But do you know that's the same thing Monique has been waiting for?
Yeah.
Now, did he say he was wrong to Dame Dash because Dame Dash was all up in his face? Because Monique hasn't been all up in his face. Monique has been, on the circuit, but she hasn't been in his face. What was the difference between Dame Dash, maybe because Dame gave him money that could be accounted for, and that's why he said he wronged him? I'm just curious. What do you think? What do you think, Derek?
I think because as a black brother, if that was me and I put myself in Damon Dash's shoes, and I think he was more so hurt by the fact that with all this going on, I'm a millionaire. I give you, because you wanted to be this top-notch director, as he stated, like, I gave you this money because you basically had an open door that you wanted to walk through and you couldn't fund yourself. So you knew that I had it, so you came to me and I believed in you and I gave you the money. So therefore, brother, that's too Precious was been out in what, 16 or probably later. And I have to, you didn't came out with 3 movies and on top of you, Empire is doing amazing. So you know you get residuals from that. So
Star.
On Star. I forgot about that.
And The Butler.
And yeah, and Shadow Boxer, Monique was in. That was before Precious. But at the end of the day, I think Dame was so hurt that I have to come to this Diana Ross concert, buy a ticket, and make my way in here while you wrapped up in a little blanket, looking dainty. And I'm
VIP. Just
and he shook his hand. If you guys missed it, like he hugged him and embraced him at first, and then Lee Daniels started penny pinching, dropping little things like, okay, here's my number. I'll call you to where he can avoid him again. And he also said he tried to negotiate with him about him coming on a future project, but that is not a stamp of a deal. That is not going to do me any good when I don't have my $2 million in my pocket.
Right.
So I think he was more so hurt, and I feel like at that point, Lee Daniels better be glad he didn't get socked, because Damon Dash would have took that L and got up out of there easily. So because he a street dude, so he's very lucky that he's grown and got a little older.
That's where it was.
We hope.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, just looking at it, I'm thinking about Stacey said he was looking very dainty.
I know. I love it. He was because
he was holding
the
like
lips
this.
was pursed in.
It was all clutched.
He was clutching his pearls, right?
But I mean, he kept his composure for the camera.
He did,
and
lady.
I was wondering if Dame Dash was even taping. What is it? What is that? Hollywood? What is it? Growing up hip hop.
Hip hop.
Because
Who was taping?
I don't know. I have no
Somebody
idea.
was on
but
it.
but somebody was definitely taping.
Yeah, they was.
Somebody-
They
what
kept
was-
going closer and closer so you could hear.
And they were whoever transcribed. They was able to get some good transcriptions, so we was able to see it, and it looked like it's something that's able to hold up in court. Because when he said I was wrong, so obviously it was an admission that you owe him the money.
Yeah.
So so now that we done got through Polo Dame Dash, because now Dame Dash has inspired a couple folks. Because see, the thing that was amazing to me for me to see, is I was just going through and doing some research. I mean, Dame Dash was friends with Lee Daniels when Lee Daniels had a pressing curl.
But you know what?
Wow.
You know what I mean? Even during the
it was
days
serious.
when he looked like Lenny Kravitz.
You know what?
Wow.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you could tell that they've had friendship that was there.
That
so
makes it
because
even worse.
Yeah.
for you to give somebody $2 million,
Yeah.
and he said it was $2 million of money that he wanted to use for his own project.
Right.
So when your friend believes in you enough to give you money for your project that could have been for their project, I can imagine the hurt. He said, you didn't even invite me to
Precious. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could at least gave me a ticket to Precious, to the screening,
Anything.
something.
Nothing?
That's dirty.
So,
That is dirty.
Lee, man,
I mean, it's gonna make our community look at him a little different. I mean, it is.
It makes that thing
but
we
does
talk
it
about.
vindicate Monique?
No, I'm sorry. Y'all could go first, because I mean, as far as Monique, that's a whole different story. Because like you said, Damon gave him the money. Monique, why you first of all, you dismantling every black a billionaire that's, to me, iconic and has opened the doors for other black people, whether it's directing, whether it's the food service, whether just everything. Oprah putting people to, you told Oprah to, I can't believe her at this point. And so I lost complete respect for her. And why are we doing this? For you, Monique? This is an individual thing. You better let go of Netflix for me. You better be mad at Lee Daniels and so for me. Nothing. You have gave nothing back. And then you get mad at Tyler Perry about charity. Like, I just don't understand. I don't think Monique is vindicated at all, because she's selfish and it's for her. And if you look at her background with the conflict, I mean, every parent ain't great, but at the end of the day, the way she do her mom, I mean, her brother raped her apparently, molested her. But at the end of the day, it was more to it than that. It's always two sides to every story. And I just feel like Monique is the lady in Precious. She played it too well. And I when I seen that, that's really when I started, this woman ain't for me. Because when you play that role like that, I'm sorry. It's something in you that's a part of you. When you push that little baby on the ground, and your oldest son don't even talk to you to this day. I mean, it's a connection.
It's called acting.
It's acting. She
You
got
ain't
into
that
her
good of an
role.
actor because you would have been doing more movies if you that good.
She got into her role.
I mean,
She got too much into it.
how I
I
feel about
remember
Mr. and,
back in my acting
Yeah,
days.
people hated
Okay,
Mr.
back in my acting days when I used to do little plays and stuff like that, and I did it for fun. But every role I would play, I loved to play roles that was opposite of me. I didn't, so I would play. I remember I played a madam in one play. And it's amazing because during the breaks, people would come back and tell me how they don't like me, don't even know me, because I played the part so well. And it was a total opposite of me. I played another role, and this lady would see me all the time, even when I would catch the bus, and she would just tell me, I don't like you, because she saw me in the play.
I don't
I'm
like
like, it was a character that I played, but I played it so well. And when she would see me, because I just don't, it was hard for her to separate me from
the
that. And I would
character.
tell people all the time, thank you so much, because to me, that was the biggest compliment you can
Yeah.
give
Well, that's
me.
true.
Right.
But at
Because
the
I
end of the
became that character, and that was a compliment. That's why she won the Oscar.
But lady, if this the difference with you is you so far from that,
Mm-hmm.
and when the real people that know you see that, and you present yourself that way, it's nothing like your character.
Mm-hmm.
But Monique, the way she talked to Tyler, it's her. Like her. It lines up with who she is, the way that she acts, the way she is on a comedian on stage, her vulgarity, everything lines up with that lady
Her
in Precious.
edge,
to
her
me.
attitude.
Yeah, her cut, her dirty mouth, like everything, her
Derek is not
selfishness, everything. I will fight to the end. People could dismantle me, but I don't like Monique. She has a lot against her, and she always thinks that it's about her. We supposed to support her and everything and everybody else. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Period.
I see that you feel very strongly.
Yeah,
Right.
She got
Yeah.
enough support. Her
Yeah.
husband is enough support for her.
Thank you, Jesus.
Can I need him to fight for me.
No,
If
right?
you're just tuning in, we are talking about the Hollywood
Man,
scandals that
real
have been
talk.
taking place. That's been taking place in Hollywood, dealing with Monique versus Lee Daniels versus Tyler Perry, and then Dame Dash versus Lee Daniels. So that is what we are talking about. Okay, now Monique put Tyler Perry on blast, and I guess Dame Dash gave her the strength to be able to do that, and gave her the encouragement to be able to do that. So if you have not heard, I'm going to play you guys a little snippet, because one thing Monique had been talking about, she has been waiting for Tyler Perry to just come forward and help vindicate her, to say that the way she was treated was wrong. She's always said that Tyler Perry has said that she was treated wrong, but Tyler Perry would never come out and say it. So she said, you know what, I'm going to help you, brother. I've been holding on to these recordings for a little while, and it's time for me to let the world know. So if you haven't heard it, here's a snippet.
I appreciate you calling us, but when you call me, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna call and find out whatever money is coming in for Precious, and I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it over to you. Whatever it is, I'm gonna send it to you.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this, and I want to again.
I'm gonna write you a check on it seriously, because no, hear me, because this is the thing about this thing. And when we start talking about this one doing this and this one doing that, and black people doing this, black people doing that, what we need to understand about that is this: where we are right now and what we're trying to do, we got some opportunities that a lot of those people didn't have. So what I don't want you to feel one day, not one day, is that you were mistreated or that you were treated unfairly. Now, if that means that that's what I need to do, then you do that. You do that. You take that and take it from a place of love.
Sorry, Maria put the camera right on you. Well, so if you're just now tuning in, we're talking about the Hollywood scandals that have been going on in Hollywood right about now, because there's a whole lot that's happening. And that was a conversation that Monique was having with Tyler Perry. She had actually secretly recorded him. And in the recording, you can actually see Tyler Perry did make an admonishment that he would try to get some money back. So here it is. Monique and her secretly recorded conversation with Tyler Perry after he had called them to discuss basically the non-back-end payment of Precious. But Monique wanted to discuss why was she also blackballed. And then in another conversation, she was talking about what her husband brought up about how it was displeasurable working with Monique. So now they're having this conversation. Now, Tyler Perry said that he would end up calling and finding out how much money Precious made, and he was going to write Monique a check and give her some coins because he felt the way she was treated. He did not want her to feel like she had been mistreated. And I thought that was really nice. And so her husband gets involved in the conversation. And it looked like, I don't know, it sounded like, I'm not really sure, that Monique may have taken the coin. But her husband didn't want charity, and that's in another part of the conversation because her husband cuts in. Do you think that Monique should have took a check from Tyler Perry? Derek.
Monique definitely should have, because ain't no telling how much of that new Precious money is coming in. It's on video. It's playing continuous on HBO. So she would be crazy if she didn't take it. And Tyler was telling her, like, do you understand? I know the business. Do you know how much money I'm offering you at this point? That's why he got frustrated and said, well, do you want it or not? Pretty much. On top of them being completely insulting, calling him niggas. And I mean, if he called her bees and stuff and had that dialect with her, like, he would be looked at as a villain. But if she can call this man nigga and do all this and say, now turn into Medea, nigga. Like, who does that to their brother? You know, a man that we respect and love, and who was homeless in order to get to where he's at.
Right.
So I feel like she should have took it, and she would have taken it if her big brother wasn't over her shoulder telling her what to do. You know, and Lady Charmaine, correct me if I'm wrong, because you're in this business, but aren't you supposed? Your manager is there to guide your decisions and to step back and do the instrumental work.
Right.
Aren't you, as a talent, supposed to defend yourself, especially when you're posting and doing stuff? Aren't you the voice?
Well, it is your manager who does speak for you.
Okay.
But remember, her manager is also her husband.
That changed the game
And
a little
it's
bit.
both of their household money that's being affected.
Okay.
So I believe both of them have emotions involved because it's their food.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand
So
that.
if he was just manager, just getting whatever his little 10%, probably be a different type of conversation
It
because he
would.
probably have other clients and he's
Definitely.
probably got money coming in. Remember, Monique is his only client, and if his client is not working,
He ain't working.
he's not working and he's not eating, and this is my wife as well.
See, I didn't know that.
And for him to see the treatment of his wife,
That energy
right?
that you were hearing.
So so the whole household is being affected.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why he is taking that personal, because he probably knows some of the conversations that was probably had and involved in some of those meetings. So that's why that's a double-edged sword right there.
But does he? Because I heard he didn't have any experience in this business other than Monique.
Now I heard that too.
So is he doing it the proper way?
That
is
I
this the
don't
right
know.
etiquette to use as a manager?
I could not tell you. That I don't know, because I don't really know a lot about his background, to say if he is qualified to manage her,
Right.
But she probably have him as her manager because, that's probably the closest person that she can trust with her money. And it's probably like, instead of me paying somebody else this 10%, I can keep this 10% in my house.
Right.
Okay.
We can keep all this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Smart but dumb, huh?
Or
Gosh, the way that's smart but dumb, huh?
Or.
Thank
or,
you.
Or
Go ahead, Marie.
I have an or.
Okay, what's your or?
Since we're talking about the attitude of Miss Monique and how she presents herself and gets her point across, which can be kind of wool against your skin, if you will. When I listened to the video, I listened to the calls and stuff. What was upsetting me most out of all the conversation was how they would not let Tyler Perry talk. That was irritating my life. They were wanting to make their points, and they said what they had to say, but then as he began to try to explain himself, they want to say that what he was saying wasn't authentic.
Come on.
And that was kind of bothering me because
Come on.
she could, not to say Monique should change who she is, don't get me wrong, but you have to use wisdom when you're doing stuff. And the way she talks sometimes, some people need that, but everybody don't need that. This is totally my opinion. Everybody
agree.
don't need that. So how she comes across sometimes, like when I was listening to her, I was like, Monique, really? Like, wow. How you gonna tell that could be like an insult, not to say Tyler Perry's a god or whatever, but he paid his dues. The industry has its cricketness and its stuff in it. Yeah, we know that all exists, but come on now, respect the man like you want to be respected. Just can you talk a little different? Can you get a man a little time to answer your question? Can he tell you where he coming from? So that's the part that was kind of getting to me. And then the husband, you know, so they're making all these points. So when she said, you need to be Medea, I need Medea to show up right now. Medea's a character.
Come on.
Just like you said.
Right.
It's a character he plays so well that we believe, who's made up of his grandmama, auntie, and everybody else. But my point is, you know, for you to go there in the conversation and to make it feel like that, to make the conversation, you could have said all of what you had to say, but to make it feel like that, that's just my opinion. So maybe her husband is her manager because nobody else want to deal with the attitude that is being brought up about Monique. Then why nobody want to work with her?
That part.
Yeah.
Man.
No, I'm trying to make a point. Like, what are we talking about? Yeah. She probably does deserve her coins. Yes, get your money.
I'm just saying, like, y'all saying Tyler Perry paid his dues, yada yada yada, but has she not?
Well, no, I'm not saying she hasn't, but I'm just really talking about how she is.
And Precious was a very, very, very popular movie. So for someone to only get paid what, $50,000,
it's not cool.
But she accepted that. You know, she accepted
but
that
how do
on
we know
some
that?
way.
But you see, you got to realize Lee Daniels was her friend.
Right.
So that, and she is helping her friend, just like Dame Dash helped Lee Daniels.
Okay.
Right.
And when you have a friendship, sometimes you're willing to do that for your friends, with the promise of the back end payment.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, I'll lend my talents to you. I see you, brother. You trying to do something. You know what I mean? And I have skills to be able to help you. You know what I mean? The script was great, so I'm going to help you out. And people do that for their friends. And as you can see, Dame Dash, you do that for your friend because you believe in your friend's vision, but you expect your friend to still be your friend and do right by you.
But what was the agreement? Okay, I'm going to do this for you for $50,000, but in the future, I want you to, like, what is the agreement?
She was supposed to get paid on the back end, right?
Right.
So as much money as Precious grossed,
it was more than what she was being offered.
Heck yeah.
Definitely more than
and
what
here it is.
So what is the back end?
And you
right.
But I feel like you won the Oscar. That is priceless.
No.
No. Let me finish, y'all. The reason
Oscar.
why I think that it was priceless, Halle Berry did win it. She didn't work that much, but she created her own lane. She created her own production company and started coming out with movies like the movie where she played that schizophrenic lady. And then she's not vulgar. Monique did this to herself. She could have been a phenomenal. She could have been an A-list actress. I don't think she's that right now. And I never thought she was a great comedian. I think Tiffany Haddish and Odell and all these people that are even C-list are completely. Cheryl Underwood is killing her to me. But she doesn't get that praise. But the way that Monique moves, my grandmother taught me this early. She said, baby, you get more bees with honey than you do with dirt. So why do you continue? And I know you may not get all the money, but you got more than me. You got more than me. You got more than half of the people out here. And yes, it may not be contractual what you deserve, but Monique, it could have been if you just moved a little different. And the bottom, I'm gonna say this, and I'm.
So how should she have moved?
She should have moved like this. Look, I'm not gonna dismantle Oprah, Tyler, or Lee right now because guess what? These people could, in the end, be giving me way more than what I even could fathom. So right now, I'm gonna take these L's because I'm comfortable and all of this. Because at the end of the day, you guys let's admit, Monique was out there in the Cannes Film Festival, and nobody gets paid for promoting their movie. The movie is filmed months or years before, and after a year, they go on this circuit, and that's part of their top pay. You don't get paid every time you at Ellen's show or Steve Harvey. You know how many times they're everywhere to promote a movie? They have to take that L. That comes with that. So, Monique, why did you think you
let me
any
tell you
more
something.
special than that?
One thing in Hollywood, the promotion is a part of your contract.
Right.
So but she didn't get paid to promote the movie. That was not a part of her contract. That is why when you listen, the promotion wasn't a part of that. See, the extra money gets put into your contract to promote. So basically, if she got paid $50,000 to do the movie, offer another $50,000 to promote the movie. She was only paid $50,000 to do the movie. No money in there to promote the movie because that's time. So that is why she was like, you didn't pay me for this because that is written into your contract to promote the movie, which is an extra coin for you. She didn't get that.
Whoa.
So that is why she was saying, So on the pretense, she did the movie, but now it's an Oscar contender. Now we need you now to go and promote the movie. But that wasn't a part of my contract. That's what she was saying. It wasn't in my contract. So now I'm being blackballed. You're talking about me like a dog for something that was never in my contract to do. And that's why she wants her name cleared.
Okay.
So it wasn't in my contract to do that. But if y'all making me look bad, now if it was in my contract to do it and I broke my contract, then so be it. I see where you coming from.
But renegotiate the movie. You know that you are the star of this movie, girl.
But the movie's already done. Remember, Oscars are after the movie's done. Now you're promoting to get an Oscar. The movie is done in the theaters. It's over now.
Could they have constructed a contract that is for promotions then after she started to act?
Probably not, because it's probably see, the thing is, I don't know if she was being, and when they started to ask, you don't go back and renegotiate a contract. Well,
then you don't go back and pay her when you signed on. You knew what it was. This is not your first movie. You knew what it was.
But it has to be in your contract, and we all know that contracts stand up in court.
That's why she barking back like this. So
she knew what she was doing.
Right.
Because she is owed money.
Well, not only owed money, she also feels like her character was attacked.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Right. So I get that.
So now,
I get that too.
So
but
now
still at the same time, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
I made my point already. Go ahead.
Okay, so now that you have done the movie for your 50, right?
Mm-hmm.
You won the Oscar. They still want you to go out here, do all this work that wasn't in your contract, and still not get paid. I mean, anybody.
It was before she won the Oscar, because what they do when Oscar season, Oscar nomination, people go around, they do interviews, and so you travel around the world to do TV, so to get people to vote for you.
Right.
You know, so you can win the Oscar.
Right. But in any case, anybody who's working, nobody wants to work for free. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, if you got somebody that's like, you need to pay me to do all of this, and they're like, no, and then next thing you know, you're getting blackballed, and now you can't get work anywhere. You know what I mean? And Precious came out when I was in high school, and you still ain't got your money. Like, I mean, I think anybody would be making a fuss.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even saying about the money. Maybe she does deserve it. I just don't like the way she moving. I don't like the things she said about these people who, your own black brothers and sisters who work so hard. And I'm not saying she didn't work hard, but let's be honest. She didn't work hard as Tyler and Oprah. It's no way.
But see,
I've been following all of them, and no way she's worked that hard.
But working hard is working hard.
Yeah,
it is, but it's levels to it as well.
It's definitely levels to it,
now,
but
I
that
can
doesn't
never
mean
say
she
that
doesn't deserve it.
because a lot of people do things behind the scenes before you even come to the forefront.
Right.
People
That
have
part,
no idea, you know,
What you got
the
your hands
sacrifices
in.
that
Yeah.
you've done before you hit the big screen. And a lot of people think that somebody's brand new, and it's like, no, I ain't brand new. I was here all along. You just now seeing
now
me and
seeing me.
recognize me.
Right.
Some people have been in the game
Like
20
Tiffany.
years.
Yeah.
Exactly. They've been on that grind for a long time. So Tiffany ain't new. She just new to me.
Exactly.
But she wasn't new. You know, she was going like she was talking about how dudes wanted to
Comedy
sleep with her.
forever.
Right. You know it. And Kevin Hart helped her because she was sleeping in her car. You know, we didn't know who Tiffany was at that
Not at
particular
all.
time. And so we don't know all the things that Monique, you know, has done to get to where she is before she came to the limelight. And everybody, for their work, they want to get paid. And nobody wants to work for free.
Definitely.
And I get exactly where she's coming from. If that was not in my contract, and now you want me to, and I got 2 kids, I got 2 small kids, you want me to travel around the country, what kind of coin come with that? I understand you're gonna pay for my food, you're gonna put me up in a hotel, but I it's my time though.
True.
Because remember, I know y'all want to look good because every time a movie wins an Oscar, it looks great. But an Oscar does not necessarily equal money for the actress.
Right.
If no one hires the actress.
But
So
doesn't
do
take
they-
you to a different rank to where you could create. It opens a
And
door
remember,
for you.
and I don't know if you heard one of her interviews. That's what she was saying because that's what Tyler Perry had told her. Now, if you win this Oscar, you'll be getting paid more money. And but that didn't happen. And that's what she was saying. It didn't happen.
They
it's
feel
supposed
they
to.
blackballed her, so she couldn't negotiate more money for the Oscar. Okay.
So she has an Oscar sitting on her shelf, but is the money coming with that?
Right.
No, especially not now.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Marie.
It's almost like the unfortunate thing too in the industry. You still got to watch how you spreading yourself, how you talking though, because these people are funny. You know, they'll just make that call. Oh, you want to raise your voice, Monique? Oh, you throwing shade,
And they know
Well,
how to
watch
shut you out of the business.
They know how to shut you out. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm just wanting her to kind of hold on a second. But then you talk about the character. It's just part, and she's been consistent. How she acts and how she responds and how she comes out. But I don't know that, and that's just a personal opinion because people gonna do what they're gonna do. We can't make nobody do nothing.
No,
Right.
not
But
at
it's
all.
just, in my opinion, I'm kind of like some of the things she maybe could have been Where are the attorneys? Like, is that not working? Like, what? How
She's
can
an
we-
attorney
I
as
mean,
well.
but Marie, she did make him because who knew that they were being falsely recorded? If they did that to Monique, they would have been in the courtroom like that tomorrow. But I mean, she forced him in a sense that now we know. It's one thing to hear about it and to hear her saying it on stand up, but now we heard him.
Yeah.
So if he's forced to do something. We heard Lee. He's forced to do something now. Like, and he's and Damon is gonna win. Monique is pretty much gonna win now.
And
All
which
of this
is
stuff
and
is
which
out.
is understood, you know. But
Do y'all
is
think she was wrong?
Wrong for
think she was-
releasing them.
I don't think she was wrong for recording. I mean, the government record conversations
True.
all the time.
That's true.
I don't know if
I mean, in
say that.
certain states though, you
Well,
can
something
get.
was happening where she felt like,
It's a
okay,
federal
they're
bench.
not. They're still what we didn't see made her make that decision.
Well, I think that she's still not getting work, and she getting frustrated, and pockets getting slim. And she said, "No, guess what? I'm finna dismantle. This is my last effort to
It could be
try to
that,
get
but
some
her,
coin."
But her integrity. But if they promised her stuff though, Derek, if they promised. her
Yeah,
stuff,
I'm not in
thing is-
agreement. I'm in a complete agreement with y'all with that about the money
if they-
situation.
if
You're right.
they-
You made me see that point.
It's just-
But
just-
the way she talked and the way that she dismantles her own career further, like it could have been whole for her. Now, even David E. Talbert, you see the open letter he wrote to her. You see how he said, Monique, I don't care what happened. I'm going to give you a chance. I'm not listening to nobody. And you came in there, you talked about the white folks, dismantled them, saying, you got all these white folks on staff, and, you know, and she dismantled him, his name, and he had to come out and say, no, this is what happened, Monique. Word for word, number by number, and again, another black person.
You know, which is definitely unfortunate. If you want to chime in on this conversation, give us a call, 916-226-9226. We want to hear from you. I want to know, should they be releasing these types of conversations? And especially since she's in, I don't know what the laws are in Baltimore where she lives. But we know in the state of California, you cannot release taped conversations in California.
Right.
So I'm not sure where Tyler was when this was recorded. You know, or where she was when this was recorded. But we know in California, you cannot release audio. You can release video, but not audio.
Yeah.
And you have to let a person know that they are being recorded. So every state has different laws. So I'm not sure what the laws are there in Baltimore. I'm sure Tyler probably, when this was released, he probably did go and do his homework.
Yeah.
And he probably went and did his due diligence because Tyler does not play. So if you want to join us, give us a call, 916-226-9226. And another gentleman said that because of what Dame Dash did, Damon Dash gave him the inspiration to release exactly what he is going through. Thank you to the Shade Room. The Shade Room took this off of Columbus Short's Instagram page. And his Instagram page is official C Short. And this is what he wrote. He said, so grateful to all the support and love we have all received for hashtag True to the Game. But sadly, there will not be a part 2 or 3 until at Manny Haley and his wife Yolanda paid the cast and crew for the first one. It is not fair to anyone who worked on the film to not be compensated for their contribution to the film. We all worked very hard, and yet I received $0 for my work in this movie. I did it for the culture and the art, trusting that I would be taken care of on the back end. But no, he ran off with the bag, eating lobster dinners every night, driving around in a Maybach like he didn't owe nobody nothing. So in the spirit of my big bro, Duska Poppington, that is, a.k.a. Dame Dash, he said, I'm calling these jokers out. Time's up. He said, this image encapsulates brotherhood. This image is hashtag True to the Game. Manny, are you true? He said, I think not. Hashtag pay up. And give at Terry Woods Publishing and BET their money back to you, crook.
Ooh,
Wow.
That was a
Ouch.
mouthful.
Yes, that was a mouthful. So he just released that on his Instagram page. And if you don't know who Manny Haley is, Manny Haley used to be the manager, or he still may be, of Keisha Cole. And if you watched any of Keisha Cole's reality shows, then you probably have seen Manny Haley on there. What do you guys think of that? That's another instance of another black brother treating another black brother, no, an entire crew wrong,
Wow.
and not paying them.
At this point, after seeing, Monique go through her stuff, and I'm pretty sure this happens all the time in Hollywood,
Nothing
but
new.
at what point do you say, I'm not doing anything until you give me a deposit
come on.
or cash or whatever, but you do a whole movie, So you went to rehearsals, makeup,
But
editing.
remember the back end, and that's the thing that people argue about. Monique, the back end.
But at least Monique got 50.
Yeah.
At least she got something.
Mhm.
You know, it may
True
not
that.
have been everything that she was deserving of or owed or whatever, but at least she got something. But for you to get $0, bruh,
That's cold,
and all of y'all got $0, like
Right.
nobody said, "Hey, this doesn't sound like a good idea." Like nobody stood up and said, "We at least need something." So now this whole movie done came out. I don't know what movie it is. I
It's
haven't
on
seen.
BT.
Yeah,
Is that-
true, true to the game. Mhm.
Okay. And you know BT runs movies into the ground.
Right. Man.
So
Man.
I mean BT is
Girl.
still playing drumline. You know what I mean? So it's like for y'all to do this whole movie and nobody got paid, and now y'all want to come forward and I don't know. Somebody got to have a little bit more business sense, whether it's through the publicists, the managers, the lawyers, or whatever. Get something. Don't say just pay me on the back end, because everybody is gonna run off on the plug.
Man,
Man. For real.
never lied about that.
What do you have to say, Marie?
Oh my God. Well, no, it's because it just tags into so many other things. Just all the stories that we hear about working with each other, and this is
Yeah.
kind of why we don't like to work with each other, because
Facts.
Yeah.
we believe
Or
in
support
it,
each
or
other.
or actually showing, excuse me, that we cannot trust each other or depend on each other, and this is what we're doing to each other. So that's kind of how this is all hitting me. Like, what are we doing? We're talking this pro-black and black business and keeping it right, and let's get it together. We buy into our own stuff, and then we're hearing this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not cool either. So who's dropping the ball, and where does that come? Is it actual business, or is it someone choosing because of how they feel in the moment for this to go the way it's going? Those are the two things I think.
So do you think this is hurting our community?
It's
in
not
working
making
together?
it look any better. I mean, you have so many black people that say, "I'll never shop black business. I'll never do anything black because it always turned into something." This is proving that it turns into something.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the unfortunate part
Right.
when I'm looking at it through my eyes, because you lend somebody some money, and I think as far as Damon Dash at this point, he's more or less like, man, like you said, like, man, it ain't even really about the money.
It's the principle.
Right.
It's the principle.
And how many years has it been? It's been since 2006, and we're in
That's a long
2018.
time, and I'm sure
And
he
that is
Yeah.
a long time.
I
He
graduated
watched
high
his
school in
career grow
2006.
all in his face, and
Oh, you was a senior.
Yes.
Maybe.
You know, he been waiting a while.
yeah, he watched his career grow in his face, and and then you got Monique coming to work every day, do Precious, and then that ends up happening to her. So I get it, and then we dealing with our own people, which is going back to how she was talking to him. Come on now, Tyler, let's keep it real. This is us. It's probably where she was trying to come from, but at the same time, he's still a part of that industry. So I don't know.
Now I have a question for you. For anyone who had listened to the conversations, do you think she was talking to two people? Do you think she was talking to Tyler Perry, the billionaire? And remember, she was like, okay, now that's
She
Tyler the
kept saying-
billionaire talking.
Yeah, I
That
won't
was
talk to
so
him.
disrespectful.
I won't talk to him. Bring Medea.
Yeah, because she was real. What do you think?
And because Medea agreed with her, everything that she said, she like, I like that be Medea, because she understand me. She know. See, everything has to be Monique's way. If you rub her the wrong way, just like Charlemagne, even though I loved how he handled himself, he kind of bowed down because that ain't him. But everything is her way or no way. If you offend her or don't agree with what she's saying, beside Whoopi Goldberg, then she's gonna dismantle you or not like you. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't understand Monique. And I'm trying, because I used to love her nighttime talk show on BET. I loved it. And then when Precious came out, my heart dropped because I just couldn't
He
believe
said
it.
Precious just
I
took
would
him
never
out.
watch that
It
movie
took him out.
again in life.
Me
Period.
neither.
He is
I
traumatized.
promise.
Me neither. I'm not
I
gonna lie
would
to you.
never.
I cannot watch that
movie.
twice.
I can't.
Yeah, it was a one shot thing for me
Yeah,
too.
I
It
can't.
was a
Not-
one take
It's
take.
not
it
in my
was heavy.
It's not my
Yeah.
history or my
Yeah.
collection. Of
Yeah,
Oh no.
it was a little heavy.
But at the end of the day, why? Why, Monique? It's all about you. Like, are you saying anything to uplift anybody else? You want to use our community as the cover.
No, wait a minute. Yes,
what's
she does.
going on?
Yes, she does, my loves. Yes, she does.
Yes, she does, my loves.
Yes, she
We're
does.
her loves, okay? She does love us. That's one thing we do know.
Yes, she does. But it sounds like I hear just in your spirit. It's like your spirit is
I've been
vexed.
yes.
It's
I talk
vexed.
about this a lot, y'all.
I
am
can
by.
see it.
I'm sorry.
So okay, let's peel the layers back on that. Let's do a little
He is
session.
hurt.
I'm hurt. I ain't gonna lie.
So please, so when did this actually begin? When did you start feeling these feelings?
I think that it got with Precious. It made me just ignore her. But then, after she said when she was on a stage and she told Oprah to suck a D. And Oprah don't probably even do that. You know, that ain't probably had the sexual orientation she wanted to do. But at the end of the day, to say that to a woman who's put hundreds of black men through college, went to the motherland and built all kind of things for us that we don't even know. Not to mention all the stuff she's done out here. Of course, she had to get the white audience first so she can elevate to the highest level and then come back to us. Her own network employed. It's all black. So to me, she's unapologetically black, but proper. You know, just because we use the proper etiquette and know how to talk, the white folks don't own that. That's I think we do it injustice to ourselves saying you're talking white, talking proper. That's us, because just because we know how to get down and turn up and use ebonics and then get to work and be very proper and know how to know the dialect and know what a noun and pronoun and verb is. That's not how she's handling herself. So how do we who have grown and had that education know how to switch it on and switch it off? How do we deal with that? She is embarrassing. I know that one person embarrasses our whole culture, but for her, because of her platform, she is, to me, embarrassing us. And no, I'm sorry, nobody is going to work with Monique. Not Paramount, not Miramax, not BT, not
Sony, not Columbia,
not Columbia.
No,
so I mean,
definitely
she's
not
running
Lionsgate.
herself and Netflix. I mean, so it's you guys don't see it.
I mean, Hulu
It's
might
her
take
fault.
a chance. Now, Hulu might.
Oh, Hulu, yeah, you're right.
It's an
Hulu got
unfortunate
original
thing.
movies.
It's an unfortunate. It's a jacked up energy that's out there about her right now. So everybody's kind of.
Okay, now let me ask you this question:
know.
do you think when you was talking about when she had told Oprah to suck the private part, do you think that just came from a place of hurt and pain?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because sometimes when people are hurting people hurt people, and we
Ooh,
say
come
things
on.
that we should not say. And I think in the heat of that moment when she was talking, it's still a painful place for
completely
her
agree.
because I don't know the conversations or the relationships that she had with Oprah, Tyler, and Lee, but I do feel that she was let down. And I do feel that she took a pay cut to be able to help a friend. And then to be treated that way and then to be left out there when you know it wasn't in my contract to promote the movie. Will you go there and just clear my name? And if anybody heard all of the recordings, when she had said, when her husband, and he did use wisdom, it kind of reminded me of what Samuel did to David in the Bible.
I did like that part. I
Yeah,
know what you're about to
and he
say.
came with that with so much wisdom. And he was like, okay, if this was me, this is what I would do. I would want them to apologize. And he said, will you and Oprah do that?
He did
And
straight
he
up.
said,
Simply asked a question.
right. And then he was like, I can't speak for Oprah. But he just wanted to know, would you do that? Because you know what's right and you know what's wrong.
Right.
And I'm not going to lie, when I was listening to the interview and when he was telling her how she can make this right by going and getting in a good film with a good director, you know, the same thing that happened with Viola Davis. And as I'm listening, I'm sure they probably was thinking the same thing. But you are a good director that can put me in a film when you have the means to do so, but you're telling me,
You don't want to deal. You don't
right,
wanna mess with
but
you.
you're telling me to find a good director and a good movie to help. And
I
if it's a
didn't
good,
think about that.
right. And you know how hurtful that would be for me. It's like if I know you're a millionaire and I know you my friend and you telling me and you know I'm broke and I ain't got no food. See, what you could do is you can go over here when you have the means to help me.
Right.
You might be calling me nigga on set all day. Look, now.
Stop it.
What did you do to make him feel like that? Well, I mean, there's a whole
Right. And you know, for him
No, but I
not to
hear what
even
you're
offer the
That's
help.
true. I agree. Like, but you guys.
And he's never worked with her besides, like he did admit, except with the whole Lionsgate Lee Daniels of the promotion of the film. That was it. But he's never worked with her
So
to
he
even
shouldn't
know.
have
Oh,
any
he
kind of
hasn't,
feelings.
that's true.
And that's what they were trying to say.
So
That's
you're
what they were
going
trying
by
to
what
say.
somebody
Loophole.
else. So here we go. Okay.
There
But
you
then
go.
now he has his own.
But remember, one
conversations
gentleman
with her
did
now.
say that he had a great experience with Monique. But Tyler said he did not have that same experience. But he's never worked with her.
So why are you saying that? Here we go.
That's what
I
they,
heard that. I remember him
that's
saying
what they were
that.
trying to
That
say
is shady right
in
there,
the interview.
period.
That's
I'm
what they were
fair,
saying.
and that's
You've
shady.
never worked with her, so how did you come
where are
up to
these
this?
feelings coming from?
And you
Where is that
notice
coming
he
from?
never answered it.
Yeah.
Right.
He
sure
wouldn't
did.
answer it.
That was shady. I ain't gonna lie. But I think that where Oprah thing is, it started with her mom and her dad. Remember on that show, and she got mad at Oprah and said something about got to the dinner that time where she was being.
And when they talked about, you mean her rape, and she brought her parents onto the show?
Yeah, and Oprah didn't tell her that the mom was going to be sitting on, and she hates her mom, and that's where all of that drama started. And then Oprah said, "I apologize but if you felt that way." People hate to hear that. They just want you to say, "I apologize." But if you felt that way, it's not taking accountability. Right. And then she went after that, all hell broke loose. That's what I've seen. That's I've been studying it and watching. Do you guys think that's when it started?
But how do you think people can rectify that? How can this be, you know what I'm saying, to make that right? Because it's gotten so ugly in Hollywood. Ooh. It really has. It has just gotten so ugly, and people now have to come with receipts and putting the business out there.
Right.
How can we make that right?
That's a hard one, lady.
No, it's hard because you're going to have people hooking and crooking no matter where you go and what you do. It's always going to be those people. You know, if they don't have that moral compass to do the right thing, it's just something you got to deal with. I mean, I don't know. How do you deal with that? You can't.
Anyway, that's interesting. So give us a call at 916-226-9226 if you want to chime in on this conversation. We definitely would love to hear from you. we definitely want to hear from you. So this has been an interesting conversation. We've talked about the Dame Dash video. If you guys haven't got a chance to see that video, make sure you go ahead and see it. He confronts Lee Daniels at a Diana Ross concert. And he just came with it.
He did.
Didn't no remorse. Just didn't care.
I finally caught you.
Yeah, I got you. You've been avoiding me.
Absolutely.
From all kind of levels. I had to buy this Diana Ross ticket.
Because I heard you gonna be here.
I knew he was gonna be here.
You was a fan.
Right.
He knew
With that little blanket.
he was gonna be here. Yes.
Slide up
Wrapped up in his little shawl.
His shawl.
And he was so shocked to see him. Y'all see that? He was like. And who was the boy behind him that said, cut Damon off, and Damon walked away? Did y'all peep that? Was that Lee Daniels' son or friend, or who was that?
I don't know. You know, I was wondering who that was too.
Yeah, he cut it all the way down.
Because Lee Daniels does have children.
Oh, he does? Okay.
Yep.
That probably was his son.
Yeah, he have kids.
He's like, Dad,
wow, didn't know that.
Yeah, he does have children. So anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on the show. You know, it's always a pleasure having y'all on the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And my girl Stacia all the way back in from the A3L. Hey. And then, of course, my girl, Miss Marie Hutchison.
That's me.
And then we got, of course, none other than Mr. Derek Dennis, the hair hustler. Now, people wanted to follow y'all on social media. Where can they find you, beginning with Dennis?
Derek at Hair Hustler. You can follow me on Instagram and just Derek Dennis on Facebook. That's it.
I'm Marie Hutchison it's not Marie Hutchison. That's not true. Clap It Up Movement on Facebook, and Beautiful Bearded Women also on Facebook if you want to follow me in my groups. Thank you.
I am on Instagram at SKMobs. That's MOBBS, like the gangster, 2 B's. Don't forget it.
Hear that? Don't forget it.
Okay.
With a point.
With a point. Well, you guys make sure that you guys follow us on social media and also join our Facebook page. It's Real Talk. It's Hot Topics Real Talk, No Chaser. And you can follow me on social media at I Am Lady Charmaine, and on YouTube at Lady Charmaine TV, and on Facebook, Lady Charmaine Live. Be sure to subscribe to the Lady Charmaine Live page so you guys can make sure that you get your notifications when we go live. And again, I want to say thank you to my peeps for joining me on the show. And thank you guys for watching. Until next time, you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Bye.